Dear students, here I'm Gargi Pamar, Assistant Professor BBA in St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management. So here I'm back with an online lecture series on income tax subject. So let's start this lecture. Yes. We have started our second unit of income tax, and now we are continuing that unit, and we are going to continue income from salary. So today we are going to discuss some more provisions from income from salary. So in last lecture we discussed allowances from salary. Now we will discuss some more allowances. So next allowance is entertainment allowance. Okay. So entertainment allowance is an allowance given by employer to his employee. It is first included in the income from salary, and then deduction is allowed to be government employees. So first, one thing that you have to remember that deduction of entertainment allowance is always provided to only government employees. No deduction will be allowed to private employees. Okay. So what will be the quantum of deduction? Let's see. Yeah. One more thing that entertainment allowance will first included in the income from salary, and then deduction will be allowed from income from salary. Okay. So quantum of deduction will be actual amount received, 1/5 of basic salary, and rupees 5,000, whichever is less will be deducted from the salary income. Okay. And next allowance is fixed medical allowance. It is an allowance paid by the employer when the employee or any of his family member falls sick for the cost incurred on their treatment if such reimburse exceed rupees 15,000 per year. Yes. So a fixed medical allowance is provided to employee on the sick when employee or any of his family member falls sick and cost incurred on their treatment exceeds rupees 15,000 rupees. In that case, only fixed medical allowances will be taxable. If such reimbursement is less than 15,000, then no allowances will be taxable. Okay. Now let's move on. Next topic, that is perquisites. What is perquisites? See, if an employer provides some facilities to its employee, then that facility will be known as perquisite. That means perquisite is basically a known monetary term. Perquisite is provided by the employer in known monetary term. Okay, so this is a known cash term. So first perquisite is rent-free accommodation that we are going to start. Okay, so what is the rent-free accommodation? When any employer provides a free of cost accommodation to its employee, then that accommodation will be known as rent-free accommodation. Now, an employer can provide unfurnished accommodation as well as furnished accommodation. So first, we will see the treatment of unfurnished accommodation. Yes. So there may be two conditions that employee may be government employee or other employees, that means private employees. So in the case of government employees, license fees decided by the government will be taxable. So government will decide the license fees in the case of government employees, and that license will be fees will be taxable. Okay. And in the case of other employees, there may be two conditions that first condition is when that accommodation is owned by the employer. That means that flat which employer is providing to employee, that may be owned by employer, or that flat may be taken on rent by the employer. Okay? So in first case, what will be the tax treatment? In first case, if population exceeds by 20 lakhs, if the population of that city exceeds by 25 lakhs, then 15% of salary will be taxable. If population exceeds by 10 lakhs but less than 25 lakhs, then 10% salary will be taxable. And if population is up to 10 lakhs, then 7.5% of salary will be taxable. So first we have to calculate salary. And what will we include in salary? In salary, we will include basic salary plus DA. DA means if the part of salary, if DA is a part of salary, plus bonus, plus commission on sale, and any other payment in cash, all these will be included in salary. And if such flat that an employer is providing to his employee is taken on rent by employer, then what will be the tax treatment? Then higher charges and 15% of salary, whichever is less will be taxed. Okay, so first we will see what is the higher charges, and then we will calculate 15% of salary, whichever is less will be taxable. Okay, so let's understand by an example. Let me show you one example for this. Yes, see, Mr. X, who is an employee of Mr. Y, that means Mr. Y is employer and Mr. X is employee, provides a rent-free accommodation to Mr. X in Mumbai. Population exceeds 25 lakhs. The accommodation is unfurnished. This flat is owned by Mr. Y. Calculate value of RSA if salary is per month 50,000 rupees. Dearrence allowance is 5,000 per month and 60% is the part of salary. That means DAF is 60% only. Okay. Commission on sale is 10,000 per annum. So let's start with solution. First, we will write the given. What is the given in question? So these information are clearly given in question. First is flat owned by the employer. This is specifically mentioned in the question that flat is owned by the employer. Okay. The next information that is given in question, it is not specifically mentioned that Mr. X is a government employee. Therefore, it will be assumed that Mr. X is a private employee. So we will assume that Mr. X is private employee because there is no information given in question that Mr. X is government or private employee. And third, accommodation is provided in Mumbai and population of Mumbai is exceeds 25 lakhs. Okay, so these information are given. And when we have already discussed when flat is owned by employer and population is exceed 25 lakhs, then 15% of salary will be taxable. So taxable value will be 15% of salary. Now, in salary, what we will include? Basic salary plus DA plus bonus or commission. So in question, basic salary is 50,000 per month. That's why 50,000 for year multiplied by 12. Plus DA is 5,000 per month. So 5,000 for year multiplied by 12 multiplied by 60%. Plus commission is 10,000 per annum. So plus 10,000. So salary will be 6 lakhs plus 36,000 plus 10,000, that is 6 lakh 46,000. 15% of 6 lakh 46,000 is 96,000. So taxable value of RSA is 96,000 national. Okay. So this is your question of RSA. Now let's move on. Let's the next perquisite. So let me show you next perquisite. Yes. So next perquisite is, sorry, we will continue this perquisite first. So this is all about unfurnished accommodation. Now we will see what will be the treatment when accommodation is furnished. Okay. So rent-free accommodation is furnished. In this case, first we have to calculate value of unfurnished accommodation as we have already calculated. Okay. So value of unfurnished accommodation plus 10% of cost of furniture if such furniture is owned by employer, or if such furniture is taken on rent by employer, then higher charge. Okay. So we will first we will calculate value of unfurnished calculator, then we will add this 10% of cost of furniture. Otherwise, we will add higher charges. Okay. So let's understand the question. See what information is given. Basic salary is 50,000 per month. DA 2,000 per month and 60% part of salary. Bonus 5,000. Commission is 7,000. A furnished accommodation provided to by X Limited to his employee in Mumbai. So accommodation is provided in Mumbai. That means accommodation population of Mumbai is greater than 25 lakhs. This is very obvious. Okay. So the furnished accommodation provided X Limited to his employee in. So first information that is given is this accommodation is in Mumbai. That means population is greater than 25 lakhs. Okay. Furniture cost is 20 lakhs owned by him. second situation, it is said, second case is also given. If such furniture taken on hire, then in that case hire charges is 9,000 per month. Okay, so let's start the solution. So first we will calculate the salary because we need the salary. This is very obvious. The salary is basic salary plus DA plus bonus or plus commission. So salary is 50,000 per month. So 50,000 multiplied by 12 for 1 year. Salary is 50,000 multiplied by 12. DA is 2,000 per month. So 2,000 multiplied by 12. And we want DA. So DA is 60% part of salary. That's why we will calculate 60%. Plus bonus is 5,000 and commission is 7,000. The total salary is 6,26,400. Now, first we have to calculate value of unfurnished accommodation. Then we will add 10% cost of furniture or higher charges, whatever the condition needs. So value of unfurnished accommodation is, see here clearly mentioned in question that the accommodation is provided in Mumbai. That means population of Mumbai will exceed the 25 lakhs. Then in case when population of city exceeds by 25 lakhs, then value of RFA will be 15% of salary. And what is the salary? Salary is 6,26,400. So 15% of that salary is 95,960. Okay. Now question says that accommodation is furnished. So value of furnished accommodation will be value of unfurnished accommodation plus 10% of cost of furniture, because in first situation this is clearly mentioned that furniture is taken on furniture is owned by the employer. So value of unfurnished accommodation is 95,960. We have already calculated 93,960, sorry, and 10% of cost of furniture. And here question is clearly mentioned that cost of furniture is 20 lakhs. So 10% of 20 lakhs is 2 lakhs. So total value of furnished accommodation is, total taxable value of furnished accommodation is 2,93,960 in first case. Okay, let's move on second case. In second case, second situation, what is mentioned in question in second situation, that now in second situation it is clearly mentioned that this furniture is taken on hire by employer and the hire charges is 9,000 per month. So first we will calculate value of furniture, then plus hire charges. So value of unfurnished we have already calculated 93,960 plus hire charges. Hire charges is 9,000 per month. Here clearly mentioned 9,000 per month. So for a year 9,000 multiplied by 12, that is 2,31,900. Okay, so this is your rent-free accommodation and furnished accommodation. Okay. Now next provision in rent-free accommodation is provided in a hotel. If the accommodation is provided in a hotel, then what will be the tax treatment? At the time of transfer from one place to another place. If such hotel accommodation is provided at the time of transfer, when one employee is transferred from one place to second place. So if that period, accommodation period is not greater than 15 days, then taxable value will be nil. That means no amount will be taxable, no RFA will be taxable. Otherwise, if period of stay exceeds by 15 days, then in that case actual charge is paid and 20% of salary. We will calculate 20% of salary and we will see what the charges paid by the employer. Whichever is less will be taxable. Okay. Next, accommodation at the time of transfer. When any accommodation is provided at the time of transfer, not in hotel, at other place, then what will be the tax treatment? If occupy both the house. If a person occupy both the houses in old city as well as in new city up to 90 days. Up to 90 days, a person or an employee occupies both the house at the old city and then in the new city. Then taxable value of purchases or RFA will be value of RFA which is less. So we will calculate the RFA for old city also or new city house also. Okay, and the RFA which is less in both will be value of RFA and will be taxable. And after 90 days, if reduction is continuous after 90 days also, then both RSS will be taxable. Okay, so this is all about your RSS, rent free accommodation. Okay, now let's move on next purposes, that is motor car facility. Okay, so valuation of motor car facility, how much amount will be taxable of motor car account, what will be the taxability of motor car. So if an employee, if an employer provide any motor car facility to his employee, then what will be the tax treatment? See, if car owned by the employer and used for official purpose. So if car is owned by employer and employee use that car for official purpose. So there may be two conditions that car, if there is mentioned that car or the motor car facility capacity of that car is up to 1.6 liter, or it may be more than 1.6 liter. So if the capacity of motor car is up to 1.6 liter, then no perquisite will be taxable. And at the same time, if the capacity of car is more than 1.6 liter, then in that case also perquisite value will be there. So when any car provided by employer, that is owned by employer and used for official purpose, employee use that car for official purpose only, then in that case, in both the case, no value will be taxable. Okay? No motor car value will be taxable. And if that car is owned by employer and employee used for personal purpose only, then in that case, in both the case, when the capacity of car is up to 1.6 liter or more than 1.6 liter, in both the condition, actual expenses incurred by employer plus 10% per annum of actual cost of car or hire charges will be taxable. Okay, so in this case, actual expenses incurred by employer plus 10% of actual cost of car, if car is owned by employer, or if employer take on rent, then in that case, hire charges. Okay, so actual expenses incurred by the employer plus 10% of per annum of actual cost will be taxable. Okay, now there may be third situation, that is when car is owned by employer and employee use that car for both official and personal purpose. Then in that case, if expenses is borne by the employee, if in this case expenses is paid by the employer, then 1800 per month plus 900 per month if the driver is also provided. So this value will be taxable. And if car capacity is more than 1.6 liter, then 2400 per month plus 900 per month if driver, this amount will be taxable. And if expenses on motor car are borne by the employee, then in that case, if the capacity of car is up to 1.6 liters, then in that case 6% per month plus 900 per month if driver also provided. When the capacity of car is more than 1.6 liter, then in that case 900 per month plus 900 per month if driver is also provided. Okay, so these situations maybe exist when the car is owned by employer and provided to employer. Okay. Now let's move on next topic, next provision of motor car, that is when such car is owned by the employer. When such car is owned by the employer, there may be three cases. First, when such car is used for official purpose, no value will be taxable. When such car is used for personal purpose, then actual expenses incurred by the employer. If you are using your car for personal purpose and employer is incurred any expenditure or pay some expenditure on your car, then such expenditure will be taxable. Okay. And if such car is used for both official purpose and personal purpose, and expenses borne by the employer, expenses is paid by the employer, then actual expenses plus rupees 1800 per month, actual expenses minus 1800 per month and minus 900 if driver provided. And in the case when capacity of the car is greater than 1.6 liter, then actual expenses minus rupees 2400 per month and minus 900 per month if driver is also provided. Now, expenses borne by employee. If such expenses is borne by employer or paid by employee, then the taxable value, that means no amount will be taxable. Okay, so this is all about your motor car facility. So in next lecture, we will understand the motor car facility through an example.